vote yes, what happened?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait.
Welcome back to the Kuhn Academy, where we are building educated voters one video at a time. All right, we're finishing the House segment here. Okay, should have just watched that video. Sorry, that was just longer than I intended for it to be. So after it clears the House, as you saw there, it goes on to the Senate. Now, it doesn't have to start in the House. Only revenue bills have to start in the House. The Senate can start its own bills, and it can go to the House next. All right, that's kind of whoever gets it done first. All right, the scheduling once it goes to the Senate is up to the majority leader. All right, in the House, it's a little more formal. Rules Committee makes a bigger deal. Here, the majority leader decides when the vote will happen, when it goes to the floor, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so majority leader calls the shots in the Senate. Okay, now we should note in the Senate, all right, that Senate has unlimited debate. You can talk as long as you want. All right, that is called a filibuster. Okay, House has limited debate, part because there's so many numbers, and the Senate thinks they're a little more prestigious. All right, now a filibuster is an attempt to defeat the bill by talking indefinitely. What you're actually hoping to have happen is you want to continue to talk to the point that the person who brought the bill to the floor, or the majority leader, will table the motion, and the bill will just come off the floor and they will move on to other business of the Senate. Okay, as you read in your articles, it is no longer used as an actual tactic like in Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Great movie to watch if you're looking for a little old-time Jimmy Stewart there. More or less now it is just a tactic without ever actually doing the speaking. The threat of a filibuster is as bad as an actual filibuster. Okay. Now, if you read the Sinclair article, she also talks very at length about a hold. A hold is very similar to a filibuster in a sense that you are delaying the bill, but you do it by requesting more information. Okay, so a congressman or senator will say, I request a hold on this bill or this nomination or something like that, and then nothing will happen until he is satisfied and the hold can be lifted. Okay, so a filibuster and a hold are the same thing. The only difference is in a filibuster, you are talking. A hold, they call it the lazy man's filibuster because you are not talking, you're just requesting more information. All right, and then the Senate also has a unanimous consent agreement. And if we can stay on task Monday, we can get to a great daily show about the unanimous consent agreement by Jim Bunning. Okay, in that instance, all right, all 100 senators, or at least all 100 senators present, have to agree on the rules of the debate and the rules for the bill before they proceed. So as opposed to a rules committee, the entire Senate acts as a committee to decide what the rules will be. If one senator objects to the rules, they cannot move forward and the bill is essentially not going to the floor. Okay? Now, to end a hold or a filibuster, all right, senators can invoke cloture. All right, and that takes 16 signatures, all right, and 60 senators to vote to invoke cloture. What that does is it cuts off the filibuster, it ends debate, and they can vote 30 hours later. So you can still go for 30 more hours after cloture has been invoked, and then the filibuster will be over. So that is why Sinclair's article is the 60-vote Senate, because it essentially is the magic number for any vote to take place. Okay, you cannot cloture a unanimous consent agreement. You can cloture holds and filibusters. Okay, hope that helps. All right, now continuing on in the Senate. All right, floor action. All right, the bill will be voted on by the full Senate. All right, it has to pass both chambers or it dies. Okay, after the filibuster is over, then the Senate can vote on it, and it just needs 50 votes or 51 votes to pass. 50 votes in the vice president or 51 votes and it will pass. But clearing that cloture hurdle is the significant one. So you will see votes pass 52-48, 53-47. That just means that somebody on the opposition side chose not to filibuster but still wanted a vote to take place. And there's a lot of games and procedures that go along with that. Okay? The House and Senate pass the same version of the bill, then it goes to the president, and he will have some options there. Okay, if they pass a different version, then it goes to a conference committee, which we'll talk about on our next video. Thanks for listening to part 2 of How a Bill Becomes a Law on the Kuhn Academy, where we are building responsible voters one video at a time.